This particular video is a follow-up of the first recording, right? Now, you've been able to go to the field, pick your coordinates. From the coordinates, you imputed it in your Excel. You mapped it out like this. But let's assume it's from a client. You don't know where this thing is located in the earth. So we want to know the location of this particular, what do we call it? This particular shape. Now, we'll go to layer. This time around, we add a layer. No. Sorry. Okay, so you go to layer. This time around, you are not creating layer. You are adding a vector layer. You're adding what? A vector layer. Okay? Why are you adding a vector layer? Because it's not an image that you want to add. If it's an image, you add what? A raster layer. Why are you not adding delimited text tab? Because it's not coordinates you want to add. It's not points that you want to add. Right? So, when you add, say, add layer, now you come to this vector, you move to the word shapefile. Okay? So there's something I need to explain to you. Please jot down. In the word shapefile, when you see admin 0, when I'm talking of admin 0, I mean the whole world without any specific country. When I say admin 2, when I say admin 1, right, I mean a state, like Anambra, and so on. When I say admin 2, I mean local government. Okay? So I'm going to admin 0 to look for a shapefile, the file that have extension SHP. So if you look at this one, it has an extension, world, countries, admin 0. You see the extension SHP. SHP. Okay? Then I click on it and open. Calm down. When I open, I said, okay, add. So it will add the Word file for me. Okay? Now, this is the map of the world. But one thing with GIS, they are in teams and in layers. Anything in your layer file that is up will be the first thing to show. Okay? So if you see the word file is above, the word file is above the Dongreg. So you can't see Dongreg. So, but when you take Dongreg up, and bring this one down, you will be able to see it. Maybe if you zoom out. Now, because this Dongreg is just a small point, not even up to a point in the world map, you won't be able to locate it here. Because even Nigeria is like just the whole of Nigeria is just like a point. Remember what I was telling you, scale. The smaller the scale, the larger the map. And the larger the map, the smaller the scale. Now, because we collected this data ourselves, we know it's in Nigeria. Okay? We already know that this data is from Nigeria. So we go to bring in Nigerian shapefile, right? Now, you go again, the same process, add vector layer, Now, the same place you went to, instead of admin 0 now, you go to admin 1, okay, and look for a shapefile extension for admin 1 and add. When you add that and close, so you will see Nigeria. Of course, you can see Nigeria here. If you are seeing Nigeria because it's at the top. If I uncheck it, you won't see, okay? So if you bring Nigeria down, the word, you can't see it. So, are we together? Because you know it's in Nigeria, you've been able to call up Nigerian shapefile, okay? Now, let's see if we can locate this Don Greg from here. But because they have color conflicts, I will need to change the color of Nigeria. So to change the color of Nigeria, you right-click on what you want to change the color. So to change the color, I will right-click and I will click on Properties. Please be jotting. Click on Properties, then I will go to change it to maybe transparent and apply. So I want it to be transparent so that I can see what I want. Okay? So because if I'm not a Nigerian, I don't know the name of these states. Okay? So the same way I went to change, the same place I went to change the name, I will right-click again and go to, please listen, and go to Properties. I go to Properties, I will go to Label, and I will ask it to label it to show layer label. And in that layer label, I will tell it to label it with admin 1 for me. Admin 1 name, and apply. So that all the states' name will appear. The name of all the states, okay, will appear. Because I have idea that this thing might be coming from Anambra State. That is if these coordinates were collected correctly. Okay? I'm supposed to be having a sign of it in Anambra State. Okay? So we've been able to name a place, to name all the cities or the states in Nigeria. Are we together? Now, my aim was actually to know which states that thing falls. But because this Don Greg is just like a point, even while zooming Anambra, I can't even get it, right? So, but I know it's from Anambra. Now, what I want to do is to go and bring out only Anambra State from Nigeria. Are we together? Yes, sir. Now, what we'll do now is to go back to add layer, go back to add layer, add vector layer, the same process. Go back this time around to admin 2. Remember, I told you that admin 2 is local governments, right? So I'll look for the shapefiles. Okay? Shapefile of admin 2, SHP, and click on it, add, and close. So this time around, I have Nigeria, but with all the local governments. You see, with all the local governments. Are we together? I have Nigeria with all the local governments. But now, I want to first bring out only Anambra State without the local government. For instance, I want to bring out Anambra State without local government. I right-click on admin 1, the one I use admin 1 to create, right? I right-click on it and say filter. When I filter, I want to filter admin 1, only admin 1, right? I want to filter only admin 1. Remember I say admin 1 is states, admin 2 is local government. I just want to filter only what? Admin 1. Now, if I want to filter only admin 1, I will click on admin 1 and say equal to. When I click these values all, it will bring all the states in Nigeria. All the states in Nigeria. And the state I want to bring out is what? Anambra State. I'll double click on Anambra State. Okay? So if you see the provide specific filter expression, it's showing you admin 1 name equal to Anambra. Okay? Then I will say okay. It will only bring Anambra. So it has deleted every other thing in Nigeria to give me what? Anambra. Are we together? Now, but I now want Anambra and the local governments. Okay? So you remember I added admin 2, which is the one that has the local government and the state in it. So I will now go back and right-click on it and say filter. When I filter it, yes, I want to filter admin 1, which is Anambra State. Though I know if I say filter admin 2, for instance, it will give me all the local governments in Nigeria. And that is not what I wanted. What I wanted is admin 1, give me Anambra State with its own local government. Are we together? So what I will look for is admin 1, because here you see both admin 1 name and admin 2. So if I say equal to and search, it will still bring out all the names of the states. And the one I want is Anambra. And if I say okay, it will remove Anambra and the local governments in it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it will bring Anambra and what? The local governments in it. Okay, so the difference between this first one and the second one I did is this first one is only Anambra without local governments. And this second one is Anambra and what? The local governments. Are we together? Now, let's see if, I doubt if this our Don Greg whatever is correct, because at this point, okay, it's correct. If you look at, there's a point here. If you see it, there's a point here. You can see the Don Greg, like a point somewhere. But we don't know the name of the local government where this thing falls. As you can see, if I uncheck it now, you can see the Don Greg somewhere here. Okay? If I uncheck it, it will disappear. If I check it, it will appear. Okay? So meaning is in a particular local government in Anambra State. But we need to know the local government. So what do I do now is to right-click, go back to properties, go to label, show label layer, pick label. I want it to name it with admin 2 for me. If I tell it to name it with admin 1, it will tell you that everywhere is Anambra. But if I tell it to name it with admin 2, because admin 2 is what? Local government. It will name all the local government. So now I will tell it, name it with admin 1 and apply. So all the local government in Anambra State has appeared. I will go back to that place I saw that Don Greg, meaning that it's in Awka South. It's in Awka South, right? So you see the data you collected, you are able to reference it to the world, you are able to reference it to a country, you are able to reference it to a state, and you are able to reference it to what? A local government. Are we moving together? Now, what do I need to do? I need to remove this Awka South alone to be on its own. But before I do that, I want to double click. I want to duplicate this one. I want to duplicate this one because I still need this one. But I want to duplicate it so that I'll work on the duplicate. So most times I advise students, when you bring any file, before you work on it in your layer, duplicate it. So that if you make mistake, you go back to the other duplicate that you have not worked on. So how do I duplicate? For instance, is this Anambra that I want to duplicate, the one with the names of the local government. I will right click again, and there's the word duplicate here. If I duplicate, it has created a copy for me. So that even if I work and make mistake, I have a duplicate, right? So I'm now working on the duplicate. I will right click and filter again. You know what filter is? You are trying to bring out something from plenty. Okay? So this time around, what do I want to filter? Admin 1 or admin 2? Admin 2, because it's a local government I want to remove. Okay? So I will say admin 2. I will say click on admin 2 name equal to. Now it will bring only the local governments in Anambra State for me. And which one do I want to remove? Oka South. And I'll say, okay, it has removed Oka South for me. So if you check, if I click on that duplicate, you see it's bringing the whole thing to me. I want to change the color of this one so that it will look different. For instance, if I remember, I told you how to change color. Just go to symbols, okay? Change the color to another color. For instance, I want to go with green, for instance, and I say apply. So you can see that Oka is just a layer. So I've been able to separate different layers, okay? I've been able to separate different layers. From the world, I have the country, I have Oka South, and so on. So you can see I've been able to have Oka South as a layer on its own. You see if I uncheck, you see Oka South as what? A layer on its own. But one thing will be clear here now. You find out that the Dongreg will be more expressed now in Oka South, because we found where it is. Okay? So this is where we will stop for now while we continue in another session. Okay? So in another session, I will now teach you how to pull all these things together. You have your Dongreg, you have your Oka South, you have Anambra, you have Nigeria, and you have the world, showing that you removed Nigeria from the world. From the world, you have, from Nigeria, you remove a state called Anambra. For Anambra, you removed a local government called Oka South. And from Oka South, you now remove the place called Dongreg. Okay? So, we will now end this particular session. Okay? So I want to stress the importance of using this tool, full zoom, this full zoom. Okay? Full zoom will bring any layer you click, and you click that full zoom, it will bring the whole layer to fit your screen. If it's the word layer you clicked, it will bring the whole word to fit in your word, to fit in your stem. Now, had it been from the word, we wanted to know where this Dongreg is, we would have named Dongreg. For instance, let's name Dongreg now. Let's name Dongreg. Property, we'll go to label, label layer. Remember that you had named it. So you see that the attribute is bringing is ID, name, and size. So it's asking you, do you want to name it by ID? Remember when we were creating the layer, the shapefile for Don Greg, in the attribute we say we needed name and size. So we want to name it by the name, okay? And if we apply, Don Greg should have a name. So you see, Don Greg now has a name on it. So if we had named it in the world shapefile, we would have gotten it. For instance, you see there is a name Don Greg in Africa. So when you zoom Africa, you see that the name is coming to Nigeria. Okay? The name is coming to Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, it's coming to the southern parts of Nigeria. So if it is at this point you have that Nigerian file, it will show you that if you keep zooming, the name will go to Anambra State. If you bring the Anambra with local government, if you continue zooming, the name will go to Oka South local government. Okay? For instance, here is Anambra. Here is Anambra. So we want to know where this Don Greg name is. You see the Don Greg is somewhere here, between Oka South and Oka North. But when you zoom further, you find out that this Don Greg is in Oka South, okay? And so on. So thank you for this, and I hope you come up to speed with where we are, and we continue. Thank you.